Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I am going to talk about my the top 5 Batman the Animated Series episodes. Because in my last video I talked about the series in general and why everyone should watch it, and today I just want to talk about my personal favorite. The reason I'm doing 5 is because I know if I wanted to, I would probably do like top 30, top 100, top whatever, because there's so many good episodes, but I just felt like boiling it down. So this is my first time doing this, so bear with me on that. And number 5 is See No Evil, which is kind of an obscure one because not a lot of people probably know about this one. It was in season 1, I believe. I'll have to check that again. But basically what happens is this guy is divorced, and his wife moves away with his daughter, and so he becomes like crazy about it, and so he wants to see his daughter, so he steals this suit that turns him invisible, and he goes into his daughter's room and just talks to her that way without her realizing that it's her father. And what I really, it's such a strange concept, but the way they do it is just so well done. It's just kind of creepy and tragic because you feel really bad for him because you clearly tell he loves his daughter, but he just can't be with her. And so Batman's trying to figure it out, and he finds out it's him. And what happens is that the suit, the radiation from the suit is messing with his mind, so that's why he's going crazy. And it's just, the whole episode is really well done. I really like it. It's just, everything about it is great. And it's a really good one. It's kind of an underrated one, honestly. It's not well known, so that's kind of why I picked it. So yeah. Number 4 is Joker's Favor, which is another good one I really like. This one's kind of more well known, not really. I've seen a couple people do this in their top 5s when I was making the list. This one is where it's another normal guy. He's like on the highway, and then he sees the Joker in another car, and like he messes with him, but he didn't realize it's the Joker, so the Joker makes him like, he's like, you do this job for me and I will leave you alone. And so then a year later he just kind of forgets about it, but then a year later Joker calls him and tells him he needs to do the job. And the way it's just that fact alone, that like the Joker like basically kept on to him for a whole year, just kind of shows the power and like the force the Joker has around people, like how he can just get in their minds. Like if he is set on something, he is so determined to get it done, or just whatever. And what I like about it is that the fact that towards the end, this isn't really spoilers, so don't worry. Towards the end, the guy gets fed up, and he literally threatens the Joker, which is something that has probably never been done. And so Joker freaks, and Batman's even like, whoa, okay, you need to chill, clearly. And it's a really interesting like episode, honestly, to see a man break down mentally and just lose it and go after him, which is really cool. That's what I love about it. I believe Paul Dini wrote it, so that's probably why I love it so much, because he's a fantastic writer. And yeah, it's a really good episode. Number 3 is Heart of Ice, which is a classic. This episode alone actually put the show like on the map. This episode won an Emmy for outstanding writing, animation, all that stuff. And it is actually, funny enough, it was so popular that they changed the origin story of Mr. Freeze because of this episode. In this episode, Victor Freeze is a scientist. For those who don't know, he is experimenting. His wife is like really sick, and so he chronologically frees her, and so he's trying to find a cure to heal her and stuff. And it's really tragic, and just you feel so bad for him. And his boss like just does not care. He's spending way too much money on the experiment, and then an accident happens where he just literally like gets frozen too, but like his body is just sub-zero basically temperature, but he's able to survive it, and so he becomes Mr. Freeze. And it's phenomenal. The animation is amazing, everything about it, his speeches, the voice actors are great, everything about it. The very end even, it's like, to this day it still like really hits me, because of how just sad it is, because he's such a tragically flawed villain. He's not a very typical. That's what I love about Batman villains. They're villains, but they're flawed, and they have reasons why, and that's what's so great. Speaking of that, another one, number 2 is Two-Face, part 1 and 2. It's a two-parter, so anyway, that was dumb. This one I love. Two-Face has always been my favorite villain because he's so close to Bruce Wayne in real life, and because they're just best friends, and just it's hard for Batman to see his best friend this way because he clearly feels awful about it. He feels like it's his guilty. He feels guilty for what he did, even though it's not technically his fault. Basically, in this episode, it just shows Harvey Dent is running for. This is just running to be mayor, I believe, and he has anger issues. But what's interesting is like his split personality basically, and there's and it just shows him dealing with that, which a lot of Batman-related stuff, it never does that. It just shows Two-Face. It shows Harvey Dent and then Two-Face. That's it. There's no building up. There's no just kind of there. But what's cool is like it shows his side, and he clearly is struggling with it, and he does not want this other side to come out, and that's what I love about it. Is his struggle is shown so so well, and that's what's so great about it. And there's also that famous shot where he, after the accident, I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm just going to say the accident, there's a shot where he's in the hospital, and he looks over, and, like, the lightning strikes, and it shows half his face, like, half the messed up face and half the normal face, and that's, like, my favorite shot of the whole episode. It's just so well done. It's so well drawn, everything about it. And this is also, this was a very dark episode for the animated series, honestly. It's one of the top darkest ones because it shows Bruce Wayne clearly tortured by this, and he has a nightmare where he's like, I can't save him, I couldn't save my parents. He's like, I don't know what to do, and it's phenomenal. It's really powerful because it just shows the core why he became Batman, who he is as a character. Number 1 is personally hands down the best one out of all of them. Beware the Grey Ghost. I love this episode. It is so good. It's made specifically for the show, so that's fun. Those kind of episodes are always fun. This one is where the Grey Ghost, or Bruce Wayne watched the show called The Grey Ghost, who is like he's like a hat, goggles, cape, and stuff, kind of like a 40s Batman style kind of detective. And funny enough, the Grey Ghost is voiced by Adam West, so that's even better. So Kevin Conroy and Adam West, they're both being basic. It's so cool just to hear both of them talk and have conversations in this show. It's so great. And there's also a scene where the Grey Ghost goes to Batman's cave, and he like shows him this whole room of just all of his collectibles, and just it's funny seeing it's just funny seeing him nerd out. He's like, I'm a huge fan of your stuff. This is why who I am and stuff like that. It's great. It's such a lovely episode. I love it. They also reference it in the Arkham games, which is really cool. So you clearly, it's a fan favorite for everyone. And that is it, actually. I was going to do some honorable mentions would probably be Robin's Reckoning, which is a good one, where it shows Robin's origins, what happened, which they handled that really well. Even though they can't really be too extremely violent, like they can't show them falling, it's very implied that they fell, which is cool. So that's what I love about it, is that it's a very heavy-handed episode. Even though they have their limits, they were able to use it to their advantage. So I think that's really it for honorable mentions. If I forget any, just let me know in the comments. Also put your top 5 or top 10 or whatever favorite episodes of the series in the comments below if you want to. That is it for today. I will probably do a review of the Arkham games. I want to also do movie reviews, anime reviews, stuff like that, to kind of break away from just Batman. I do like Batman, obviously, that's why I'm doing these videos, but I just want to do more than just Batman. Just let me know what you want me to do in the comments below. Alright guys, see ya.